My dear one, Lenka Lutonska here, of course, the founder of Business Energetics Academy and creator of Business Energetics. And if you ever feel disappointed by performance of your launch, sales campaign, project, book, newsletter, reel, whatever it might be, you've got to watch this, and probably not once, because I'm going to share with you a few ideas, few things to contemplate on that will gently yet very powerfully work with your energy so that you don't ever need to be disappointed, because you will have completely separated the initial performance of whatever you're doing and your self-worth, meaning that by nature, whatever you create will actually deliver so much more, whatever you measure, sales, clients, likes, results. Yes, that's a little paradox, energetic paradox we're going to work on today. The more detached you are from the immediate results your project or creative idea will produce, better your idea will do. More successful it will become. And that's the only way, when you're fully detached and when you do not connect your self-worth or how well you do, how well you create, or whatever it is from the initial impact. That's the only way how you can let it create full impact, which sometimes it's millions from one idea, one video, one email, one project, one launch, one book can create millions in sales revenues and millions metaphorically in impact. Okay? That's what we're going to talk about, because look, I know I work with very, very powerful women and leaders, not just women, but sometimes it breaks my heart when my clients sometimes come to me, Lenka, this is what I created, or this is how much I sold in 2 days, or this is what happened in the first week of whatever launch, and I'm a little disappointed. And it breaks my heart, because objectively I'm looking, this is incredible, and not every idea is meant to have the full intended impact within the freaking week. So this is incredible first ripple, first start, but what they're seeing is a blinking failure or disappointment, or I'm not enough, and that needs to stop. That needs to go. This is the part of the old paradigm, not business energetics. Okay? So if you ever feel disappointed, or you want to make sure that you don't ever feel disappointed, what I'll invite you to do is to contemplate, stay with these few ideas I'm about to share with you. Okay? So the first idea I want to share with you is the difference between conscious expectation and the full intended impact. You see, when we receive some idea, whatever it might be, a project, a book, a launch, a program, something to simply create or write or say, that idea in itself has got its own consciousness. It's not just like, that would be nice to do, like you thought it. No, you didn't create it. You didn't think it into the existence. You simply perceive ideas. And when that idea is expanding your heart, that's the evidence that this is how the universe, the source within you, wants to express itself through you right now. And that idea in itself has got its own sacred consciousness, its own energy. And in that idea itself, in that, this would be amazing, in that, it has got its full intended impact. You, as a person, as a human being, you cannot know what that full intended impact is. But what you automatically do, if this idea is expanding your heart, the human mind automatically will create expectation what that impact should be, so the idea is successful. So this is the two sides of the coin, or two sides of the polarity you always work with when you create. The conscious expectation of human mind. We cannot stop it. The human minds do what human minds do. They create these expectations. Hopefully I will sell this many of these, or my expectancy is that this will create this much impact, or this much sales, or this much readership, or this much whatever. So human minds will do what human minds want to do. And yet, on the other side of that polarity is your divine self, when you just are that channel of that idea and you let the idea create through you the highest and the full intended impact. Typically, that highest intended impact is actually much higher than the conscious expectation, except not in your way, not in the human way, and not exactly in the first day or two or a week, so not in the exact time frame. Sometimes that full intended impact is actually even so much more in the immediately. And sometimes it's so much more in a medium or a long term. So what is a good idea is to simply contemplate on, okay, my brain, my human mind, my little human, cannot help but kind of create those expectations. How, whatever I accept that, okay, you can flow through me. I'm going to create this. I'm going to write this book. I'm going to write this article. I'm going to create this video. I'm going to sell this program. I'm going to do this launch, whatever it is. My human mind cannot help but to create some conscious expectation. But that is nothing in comparison to the full intended impact of this idea itself. So I don't know what it is. So I'm going to lean in whenever I set the expectation. I'm going to take myself gently back into divinity and remind myself that I'm not here to create out of desperation or measuring. I'm here to create from devotion. And I'm devoting myself through this idea. Marry me. I'll be your channel. And you from me do full intended impact, whatever it might look like. This is incredibly good way to completely detach yourself from results. More this energy, you let this, just contemplate on this idea. Let this energy work with you cellularly. And more you do this, more you become embodiment of that full detachment. Of course, for you to be able to do that, you've got to feel safe in it. If you have any fears, there is not enough. If this is not going to give me, 20 sales in the first hour, I'm not safe, I'm not going to have enough, then it's going to be even much harder for you to sink into this divine detachment, right? Therefore, if you do feel like this, it's a good idea to ask yourself, okay, what else am I attaching to this success? Or expected success, the conscious expectation of success for this idea. What am I attaching to it? My safety? My worth? How well I do? What else? Reflect on it. Because whatever else you're attaching to this short-term success or short-term result of this created idea, you've got to consciously detach it. It's really, really not working well for you. It's not supporting you. Because the truth is, you are safe in your abundance anyway. That's your divinity. That's the truth. But if you keep telling yourself, I'm safe, I'm abundant only when this, then that works in the first hour, in the first week, and it works this much or this much, we're collapsing upon ourselves. We're making ourselves smaller and we're closing our capacity to receive what is rightfully ours. Okay? So you might need to do this additional work here where you explore all that you are attaching to the short-term result of your implemented idea. The second idea I invite you to contemplate on is the actual flaw and the error of this human mind, conscious expectation and measuring. Yes, human mind likes to measure success, likes to set the expectation of what the success is going to look like. But there is so much flaw in it. So when you contemplate on it, it will help you to lose the grip and just really detach your worth, your abundance, your everything from the short-term result. And therefore, you will most likely magnetize the short-term result, bizarrely. Anyhow, human mind will say, okay, for this idea to be successful, I want, let's say, 20 sales in the first hour. But what if you're not meant to get the 20 sales, 20 clients in the first hour or first day? But what if you're meant to get 1 or 0 or 2 in the first day or 2, and 5 next week, and 20 next month, and 1,000 3 months later? But because when your initial expectation is not met, oh, I wanted 20 is the number, that's when it's successful. You say to yourself, there's something then wrong with it. You collapse this incredible manifestation and full intended impact of what it was meant to be. So there is this flaw, who says that it's 20, that it makes it successful to here and now? Why is not 5? Why it's not 0? Why it's not 500? You see, all these numbers are terribly subjective and terribly in the moment what you're aligned with or what you would like. Can you imagine in nature if it worked like that? Can you imagine that the trees or the seeds would go, okay, the seed is now in the ground. I started to receive water and sunlight. So now I really better grow 5 centimeters in the first 5 days. Otherwise, I'm not going to grow into the full flower. No, it doesn't work like that. The trees in the nature also don't put pressure on themselves. I better grow 5 centimeters this week and next week 7 centimeters, so it's more than this week. Doesn't exist. It's human mind does what the human mind wants to do. So there's such a flaw in this. And we have in business, in arts, in history, everywhere, we have got so many examples of when actually the initial measurement of success wasn't nothing grand, but that initial short-term result, when the energy was just left to what it's meant to be, accumulated it into such a huge impact that it goes beyond what mind can even perceive. One such example is, for instance, Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. You probably all know that book, right? That book has sold so far, I think, about 100 million copies. It's insane just how much impact that book made. But when he published this book first, I think it was first published in about 1937, and it was after a decade of working on this book. It was essentially Napoleon Hill modeled many successful business moguls and big minds of the time. So it took him freaking 10 years to write. Then he published it, and for years the book was not much selling. Little moderate sales, so it was still in a space, but no wow, nothing wow. And after around 15, 20 years, momentum hit. In 50s, 60s, this book started to, it's like quantum leap. Everyone started to get interested in it. And from there, it accumulated into how one book can create just such a massive shift in the culture, in the world is unbelievable. So what if that next book you're writing, that next video you're creating, that next program you're putting together, that next sales campaign you're putting together, what if it's not supposed to have such a huge results right now, but down the line it will create such a monumental shift, not just in your business, quantum shift in your business, but in maybe entire marketplace. Treat it as such. Treat it with sacredness and take yourself there whenever your mind wants to create. But I want 20 sales now. I want 200 sales now. I want whatever. Yes? So this is another really wonderful idea to create, that there is a really error in human minds, how it sets those expectations, what is success and what is not. One thing that comes to my mind from my own entrepreneurial journey to where I am today, multiple 7-figure business across 184 countries, always expanding, always growing. One little thing that comes to me to share with you. Some years back, and I don't know, it was 2 years, maybe 3 years, I can't remember exactly, I was inspired to create 5-6 week program that was a little different to what I was doing up till that point. It wasn't strictly on business. It wasn't strictly energetics of selling, energetics of marketing. It was about strengthening the wealth codes. I called it Wildly Wealthy Woman. So strengthening of wealth codes. Yes, money. Yes, time. Yes, love. Yes, purpose. And in that, opening the new level of abundance for the person. And at the time, it was lovely, as in the clients were coming in and I delivered those wealth codes. It was really powerful, but it wasn't like wow of the launch. It was like just nice. It wasn't nothing huge. However, out of there, delivering that, what came up was another program that resulted in 7-figure launch and in hundreds of women literally changing their lives. And out of there was created the 6 pillars of business energetics to what it is today, so that humble initial 5-6 weeks program on wealth codes is now still existing, and I delivered it, or I'm about to deliver it again, and it will be probably delivered again, has created in a space of probably 2 years so much more impact than that initial, oh, how many clients I want to serve in the 6 weeks program. So much more. And that's just 2 years down the line, you see? So that's how you want to approach everything that you create. That's the third idea that I want you to contemplate on, that everything that you create, give it a blueprint, and you give yourself a blueprint that you do not need this to work. You just will love for it to exist, and you let it be what it's meant to be. Yes? So tell yourself this with every creation, that your creations are not, oh, one-off events, or it's supposed to create this or that, or it's not successful. No, everything that you're inspired to create, everything that you're inspired to accept as, okay, come through me, you will love it for whatever it's meant to be, and you don't know what it's meant to be. I'll let this be what it's meant to be. That's a beautiful, beautiful mantra. And ask your soul, higher self, for help in embodying creation out of devotion, not out of need, lack, or desperation. And your soul will continue to help you do that. Okay? So those are the 3 ideas I wanted to share with you today. I believe they will help you to sink into much greater creativity, detachment, divine detachment, of course, and therefore magnetize you and your ideas for more success. Yes, definitely long term, but also paradoxically short term. I want to share with you which of these 3 ideas is your favorite one and what you're going to do with this. I will see you next time, my dear, whether it's in the next video or inside of Business Energetics Academy for the next call or program or deep whatever transformational activation you're meant to receive. So much love your way. Until next time, bye-bye. Energetic selling and marketing is not a set of sales techniques. It's a lifestyle, a chosen state of being. Through my book, I teach powerful women like you to use the immense power of your energy to grow your business. Because when you do that, there are no limits to what kind of impact you can create in the world and in your life.